as I said before, I think it's not very easy to sort of, it's not as easy as people think anyway, to get 3 or 4 guys together and have a good group. I mean, I think a good group is a special thing. I think it's pretty rare, especially now. I mean, there was lots of good groups. There probably still are lots of good groups. I mean, I don't want to sound cynical, but I think the reason we stay together is because I think we all have been together for an awful long time and we like writing together. If I didn't have my outside projects, I'd probably have left by now, because any one situation, any one sort of particular situation tends to bore me a bit. But I've always kept myself in a situation where I can do anything and everything. So, therefore, when I come round to do a Genesis thing, it's as different as like a Robert Plant thing, or the Frida album, or the John Martin album, or Eno or something. It's all, because I do so many different things, it all keeps the other thing fresh. So I think we're together because we actually like to write together. I think it's when you get into a studio and there's sort of a rehearsal room with no music, and you sit down and something comes out, that moment when everything clicks is quite a nice moment, and you think, this is great, this is why I want to be in a group, because there's 3 guys doing something from nothing. Other times it's a pain in the arse, but I mean, some of the time it's great fun.
What was it like getting everybody together for the Milton Keynes Bowl concert in September last year?
That was it was a lot of fun, obviously. It was a bit of a challenge, really, in a way, to see if we all remembered the words and the music. I mean, I hadn't most of the songs, of course, I hadn't played drums on since Peter left, because we've had Bill Bruford and then Chester. So, for me to go back and play Supper's Ready, for instance, meant that I had to set the clocks back to 1973. So things like that, it was interesting to see if I could still do it, and it was just good fun. I mean, I can't pretend there was anything more going for it, other than the fact that it was for a good charity. I mean, basically, Peter was up to his eyes in debt with this festival, and we wanted to help him out because it would have been a big problem for him to have found all the money to pay, the WOMAD festival.
What was it?
Are you aware of the background to that?
Yeah. In fact, I had a very lengthy interview with Peter Gabriel the other day.
Right. Well, okay. Well, I mean, therefore you know why we did it, and so that obviously that is the fun thing, really.
What was it like playing with him again? Had he changed a lot?
Well, you're not aware of the change, really, because I mean, we all see each other quite regularly, and we all listen to each other's music. And I mean, I played on his 3rd album, and I did a tour with him just before that 3rd album on the drums. So, I mean, I know how he is, and I enjoy playing his music a lot. And it was because some of the songs we haven't played for a long time with Genesis. It wasn't like we were comparing our version with the version with him singing. It was just taking it from scratch and then just working at it as a group. And as I say, I mean, I'm so used to personally, I'm so used to sort of just getting involved with different lineups of different musicians. This just seemed another fun thing to do, to be honest.
There have been rumors over here of you working with Daryl Hall.
Well, yeah. I mean, I met Hall and Oates at a London concert because I went backstage because Hugh Padgham produced their album, and he also engineers mine, and the Genesis stuff. So I went back to see them, and I'd heard that Daryl was interested in doing something with me, and I thought it'd be a good idea to do it. I like his voice a lot. We sort of met on tape on Robert Fripp's solo album. When I played the drums on a song called North Star, and he sang on it, but we never actually met each other physically because he was in a different part of the world when he did it. But I would like to collaborate with him on something, actually. But it's one of those things that's talked about, but but that's as far as it's got, really.
I think I may have asked you this the other day here, but do you have any plans to play on other people's albums in the near future?
Well, I just done Robert Plant's album,
Which
the new one.
which will be when?
That will come out, I don't know, August, July. No, I think July. And then I'll be touring America with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on drums.
Uh-huh.
That's in September. Let's see, I don't think there's many plans for... I mean, basically this year is Genesis year. We're doing the album, then I'm doing Robert's album. Robert's tour, rather. And then I come back from Robert's tour just in time to go out with Genesis on tour. So that takes care of this year, really.
Do you always sort of wish to remain that type of a freelance musician?
Yeah, I mean, there are people that I work with regularly. I mean, Robert, I think, is one of my regular gigs, if you like. Genesis is a regular gig. My own thing is obviously very important to me. John Martin, I'm a big fan of, and I would work with him when he asks me, if I can. And the sort of the production thing is something that I like to sort of do lots of different things.
What about Genesis concerts in the future? When's the next tour scheduled?
We're going to America about first or second week of November. I think we're just doing 2 American tours, one before Christmas and one after Christmas. But you see, we've got this thing about Japan. See, we like Japan very much. I mean, I personally would love to come back there. But for some reason, because we don't open, I mean, this is like when we went there in 1978. Every picture we looked at in a magazine, they all look like Van Halen, you know.
What do you mean?
Shirts open and gold medallions, hairy chests and long hair, you know. And we're not exactly that kind of group. So I think we missed out a bit there. And we played some concerts there, and we enjoyed ourselves a lot, you know. And the audiences were great, but we haven't been asked back yet.
Oh.
And the records don't seem to do very well. And also in my own records, I'd love to play there with my band. I think we'd go down very, very well there, you know, with the Earth and the Fire guys and everything. But again, you know, my records don't seem to do very well there. And I think maybe it's because there's a very strong home market there. You know, maybe I mean, there's a lot of very popular Japanese groups, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but I don't know. I mean, we'd love to come back there, but it's got to the point now where there's lots of Australia we've never been to. You know, there's lots of places we haven't been. But you end up going to the places we don't want to work all year, you know, on tour because it gets very tiring and you end up hating it. But it would be nice to get back there at some point.
Who would be backing Genesis? Will it be the same guys like Daryl Stuermer and Chester Thompson?
Yeah.
And who else?
Just them.
Oh, just those two?
Yeah, that's all we ever have.
Uh-huh. What about your own band? Who are the other backup musicians there?
Well, in my lot, which basically was together while I spoke to you, I mean, that band is a transient group. I mean, it was together for those tours, and then the next time I go out on the road, I'll think again. I mean, the group that was the Earth and the Fire Horns, and Chester and Daryl, Peter Robinson, who played with Stanley Clarke and Al Jarreau, and Brand X, Mo Foster, who plays with Jeff Beck, and let me see, that was all, I think. It was a 9-piece group.
How does the stage act differ from Genesis?
Well, I wear a suit and a tie, which is quite a substantial change. I mean, the show looks a bit different. I mean, the music's very different. It's a lot of up music. It just feels very different. It's very hard for me to pin down as to what I think. The music is a little more personal because it's, you know, one person's music, and it's also music, autobiographical music. It's less of a show, you know. We had quite a small lighting rig, but then we got a great lighting man that